Hare Krishna, my friends. Welcome to Bhaktiville. Dasi Lane here, and welcome to our Friday night reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm here with Bhaktiville and Candita. So nice to be with you guys this week, and every week. But last week, we finished reading chapter 4 about Vyasadeva's enigma. He couldn't understand why he was dissatisfied with his compilation of the Vedas. He was knowledgeable, he was a pure practitioner, and he worshipped his guru and the sacred fire. What was missing? After searching his heart, he found that he had not described the pastimes of the Lord. The devotees nor the Lord would be satisfied with the writing he had done without that. This is a good rule of thumb for us too. Without the Lord, there is no satisfaction. So let's continue our reading. Tonight we're in Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 1. This chapter is titled Narada's Instructions on Srimad-Bhagavatam for Vyasadeva. We're on page 248 of the PDF or page 222 of the book. But before we get going, let's sing these prayers up here on the board, and I will move the slides along as when needed. Right. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at His lotus feet. And please accept my humble obeisances. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I also offer my respectful obeisances unto the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees and can fulfill the desires of everyone. They are full of compassion for the fallen, conditioned souls. And these obeisances are for everybody in the whole universe. Candita says she's just going to listen, so no chanting from Candita tonight. All right, just rest and relax. All right, let's sing these prayers before we read Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Next one. Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hridyantas Dohya Bhadrani, Vidunoti Suruhit Satam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma or Supersoul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. All right. So, here we go. Chapter 5, First Canto, Chapter 5, text 1. Let me just do one thing here on my computer. Nope. Come back. Sorry. Just doing some logistic stuff here. Okay. Call and response. Sutta uvacha atatam sukham asina atatam sukham asina apasinam brihach Shravaha Upasinam Brihach Shravaha Devarishi Praha Viprarishim Devarishi Praha Viprarishim Vina Pani Smayan Iva Vina Pani Smayan Iva. All right, the whole thing. Sutta uvacha atatam sukham asina upasinam brahachravaha devarishi praha viprarisham vinapani smayam iva. Word for word. Sutta, sutta. Uvacha, said. Ata, therefore. Tam, him. Sukham asina, comfortably seated. Upasinam, unto one sitting nearby. Brahat Shravaha, greatly respected. Devarishi, the great rishi among the gods. Praha, said. Viprarishim, unto the rishi among the brahmanas. Vinapani, one who carries a vina in his hand. Smayan Eva, apparently smiling. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, thus the sage among the gods, Narada, completely seated and apparently smiling, addressed the rishi amongst the brahmanas, Vedavyasa. Purport. Narada was smiling because he well knew the great sage Vedavyasa and the cause of his disappointment. As he will explain gradually, Vyasadev's disappointment was due to insufficiency in presenting the science of devotional service. Narada knew the defect, and it was confirmed by the position of Vyas. I have to scroll through a bunch of photos. Okay, so text 2. Narada uvacha. Call and response, but that's a short one. Parasharya Mahabhaga Parasharya Mahabhaga Bhavataha, or no, not aha. Bhavata Kachid Atmana Bhavata Kachid Atmana Paritushyati Sharira Paritushyati Sharira Atma Manasa Evava Atma Manasa Evava. And the whole verse. Narada Uvacha Parashaya Mahabhaga Bhavata Kachid Atmana Paritushyati Sharira Atma Manasa Evava. Word for word. Narada, Narada. Uvacha, said. Parasharya, O son of Parasharya. Mahabhaga, the greatly fortunate. Bhavataha, your. Kachit, if it is. Atmana, by the self-realization of. Paritushyati, does it satisfy. Shariraha, identify the body. Atma, self. Manasaha, identifying the mind. Eva, certainly. Va, and. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Addressing Vyasadeva, the son of Parashara, Narada inquired, are you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind as objects of self-realization? Purport. This was a hint by Narada to Vyasadeva regarding the cause of his despondency. Vyasadeva, as the descendant of Parashara, a greatly powerful sage, had the privilege of having a great parentage, which should not have given Vyasadeva cause for despondency. Being a great son of a great father, he should not have identified the self with the body or the mind. Ordinary men with a poor fund of knowledge can identify the body as self or the mind as self, but Vyasadeva should not have done so. One cannot be cheerful by nature unless one is factually seated in self-realization, which is transcendental to the material body and mind. Text 3. Call and response. Jinyasitam susampanam. Jinyasitam susampanam. Apite mahad adbhutam. Apite mahad adbhutam. Krittavan bharatam yastvam. Krittavan bharatam yastvam. Sarvarta paribrimmitam. Sarvarta paribrimmitam. Bhaktiville says this is a huge verse. There's one coming up that's even longer. All right, the whole verse all together. Jinyasitam susampanam apdeta mahad adbhutam krittavan bharatam yastvam sarvarta paribrimmitam. Word for word. Jinyasitam, fully inquired. Susampanam, well-versed. Api, in spite of. Te, your. Mahat adbhutam, great and wonderful. Krittavan, prepared. Bharatam, the Mahabharata. Yatvam, what you have done. Sarva artha, including all sequences. Paribrimmitam, elaborately explained. Translation. Your inquiries were full, and your studies were also well fulfilled, and there is no doubt that you have prepared a great and wonderful work, the Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences elaborately explained. Report. The despondency of Vyasadeva was certainly not due to his lack of sufficient knowledge, because as a student, he had fully inquired about the Vedic literatures, as a result of which the Mahabharata is compiled with full explanation of the Vedas. Did I skip a verse? No, I did not. Okay. All right. All right, text 4. Call and response. Jinyasitam, excuse me, aditam cha. Jinyasitam aditam cha. Brahma yattat sanatanam. Brahma yattat sanatanam. Tatapi shochasyatmanam. Tatapi shochasyatmanam. Akritarta eva prabhu. Akritarta eva prabhu. And the whole verse. Jinyasitam aditam cha. Brahma yattat sanatanam. Tatapi shochasya atmanam. Akritarta eva prabhu. Word for word. Jinyasitam, deliberated fully well. Aditam, the knowledge obtained. Cha, and. Brahma, the absolute. Yat, what. Tat, that. Sanatanam, eternal. Tatapi, in spite of. Shochasi, lamenting. Atmanam, unto self. Akrita artha, undone, eva like Prabhu, my dear sir. Translation. You have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman, as well as the knowledge derived therefrom. In spite of all this, why should you be despondent, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu? Purport. The Vedanta Sutra, or the Brahma Sutra, compiled by Sri Vyasadeva, is the full deliberation of the impersonal absolute feature, and it is accepted as the most exalted philosophical exposition in the world. It covers the subject of eternity, and the methods are scholarly, so there cannot be any doubt about the transcendental scholarship of Vyasadeva. So why should he lament? Text 5. So this is the one I was referring to. Bhaktiville, that's longer. Vyasa uvacha. Okay, call and response. Astyeva me sarvam midam tvayoktam. Astyeva me sarvam midam tvayoktam. Tatapi natma paritushyate me. Tatapi natma paritushyate me. Tanmulam avyaktam agadha bodham. Tanmulam avyaktam agadha bodham. Prichamahe tvatma pavatma bhutam. Prichamahe tvatma pavatma bhutam. Oh, Bhaktiville says in chat, he says, I did not mean length, I meant importance. Oh, okay. All right. Got it. All right, the whole verse all together. Vyasa uva, yeah, take a big breath. Excuse me. Vyasa uvacha astyeva me sarvam midam tvayoktam tatapi natma paritushyate me. Tanmulam avyaktam agadha bodham prichamahe tvatma bhavatma bhutam. Word for word. Vyasaha, Vyasa. Uvacha said, Asti, there is. Eva, certainly. Me, mine. Sarvam, all. Idam, this. Tvaya, by you. Uktam, uttered. Tatapi, and yet, na, not, atma, self, paritushyate, does pacify, me, unto me, tat, of which, mulam, root, avyaktam, undetected, agadha bodham, the man of unlimited knowledge, prichamahe, do inquire, tva, unto you, atma bhava, self-born, Atma Bhutam, offspring. Translation. Sri Vyasadeva said, all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I am not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction. For you are a man of unlimited knowledge, due to your being the offspring of one, Brahma, who was self-born, without mundane father and mother. Purport. In the material world, everyone is engrossed with the idea of identifying the body or the mind with the self. As such, all knowledge disseminated in the material world is related either with the body or with the mind, and that is the root cause of all despondencies. This is not always detected, even though one may be the greatest erudite scholar in materialistic knowledge. It is good, therefore, to approach a personality like Narada to solve the root cause of all despondencies. Why Narada should be approached is explained below. Text 6. Call and response. Savai bhavan Veda samasta guyam savai bhavan Veda samasta guyam upasito yat purusha puranaha upasito yat purusha puranaha paravaresho manashaiva vishvam paravaresho manashaiva vishvam Shujatyavatyati gunar asangaha Shujatyavatyati gunar asangaha. All right, the whole verse. Sa vaibhavan Veda samastakuyam pasito yat purusha puranaha paravaresho manashaiva vishvan Shujatyavatyati gunar asangaha. Word for word. Saha, thus. Vai, certainly. Bhavan, yourself. Veda, no. Samasta, all-inclusive. Guhyam, confidential. Upasitaha, devotee of. Yat, because. Purushaha, the personality of Godhead. Puranaha, the oldest. Paravareshaha, controller of the material and spiritual worlds. Manasa, mind. Eva, only. Vishvam, the universe. Shrujati, creates. Avatyati, annihilates. Gunai, by the qualitative matter. Asangaha, unattached. Translation. My Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of the spiritual world, the original personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature. Purport. A person who is 100% engaged in the service of the Lord is the emblem of all knowledge. Such a devotee of the Lord in full perfection of devotional service is also perfect by the qualification of the personality of Godhead. As such, the eightfold perfections of mystic power, Ashtasiddhi, constitute very little of his godly opulence. A devotee like Narada can act wonderfully by his spiritual perfection, which every individual is trying to attain. Srila Narada is a 100% perfect living being, although not equal to the personality of Godhead. I just wanted to say a few things, 8 things, about the 8 perfections of mystic yoga, the Ashtasiddhi. I wanted to tell you what they are. There are some yoga groups who try to cultivate these mystic powers, and sometimes they get 1 or 2, but never all of them. And what's the use? let me read them to you. Enigma, the ability to reduce one's body to the size of an atom. Mahima, the ability to expand one's body to an infinitely large size. Laghima, the ability to become weightless or lighter than air, including levitation. Garima, the ability to become heavy or dense. Prapti, the ability to realize whatever one desires, to touch anything or have unrestricted access to all places. Prakamya, the ability to access any place in the world or to materialize anything at will. Ishitva, the ability to control all material elements or natural forces. Vashitva, the ability to force influence upon anyone. So those are the siddhis. Kandita says she would like to float or fly, quite frankly. Well, that's what they're trying to do in TM, transcendental meditation, right? They can lift their, it looks like they're bouncing, but they can lift themselves up for a second or two. Transcendental meditation, yeah, that's been their thing for a long time. You can look for videos. It's kind of funny. They're just kind of bouncing around. I mean, really, when you jump, you've levitated, right? So anyway. Okay, text 7. Call and response. Svam par yatan arka eva trilokim. Svam par yatan arka eva trilokim. Antascharo vayur ivatma sakshi. Antascharo vayur ivatma sakshi. Paravare Brahmani Dharmato Vratai. Paravare Brahmani Dharmato Vratai. Snatasya me Yunam alam vichakshva. Snatasya me Yunam alam vichakshva. Candita says, I don't believe TM followers are actually levitating. LOL. Let's see them float up 20 feet and stay there. Exactly. Yeah. They're like, you've got it. You've got it. You watch the videos. They're really funny. Anyway. The whole verse. Tvam paryatam arka evam trilokim antascharo vayor ivatma sakshi. Paravare Brahmani Dharmato Vatai Snatasya me Nyunam Alam Vichakshva. Word for word. Tvam, your goodness. Paryatan, traveling. Arkaha, the sun. Eva, like. Trilokim, 3 worlds. Anta Charaha, can penetrate into everyone's heart. Vayu Eva, as good as the all-pervading air. Atma, self-realized. Sakshi, witness. Paravare, in the matter of cause and effect. Brahmani, in the absolute. Dharmataha, under disciplinary regulations. Vratai, in vow. Snatasya, having been absorbed in. Me, mind. Nyunam, deficiency. Alam, clearly. Vichakshva, search out. Translation. Like the sun, your goodness can travel everywhere in the 3 worlds. Like the air, you can penetrate the internal region of everyone. As such, you are as good as the all-pervasive Supersoul. Please, therefore, find out the deficiency in me, despite my being absorbed in transcendence under disciplinary regulations and vows. Purport. Transcendental realization, pious activities, worshiping the deities, charity, mercifulness, non-violence, and studying the scriptures under strict disciplinary regulations are always helpful. Text 8. This will be our last one. Text 8. Call and response. Shri Narada Uvacha Bhavata Nudita Prayam. I did the whole line. Yasho Bhagavato Malam. Yasho Bhagavato Malam. Yenai Vasau Natushyata. Yenai Vasau Natushyata. Manyetad Darshanam Kilam. Manyetad Darshanam Kilam. And the whole verse. Shri Narada Uvacha Bhavata Nudita Prayam Yasho Bhagavato Malam Yenai Vasau Natushita Manyetad Darshanam Kilam. Word for word. Sri Narada, Sri Narada, Uvacha said, Bhavata, by you, Anuditya Prayam, almost not praised, Yashaha, glories, Bhagavataha, of the personality of Godhead, Amalam, spotless, Yena, by which, Eva, certainly, Asau, he, the personality of Godhead, Na, does not, Tushyata, be pleased, Manye, I think, Tat, that, Darshanam, philosophy, Kilam, inferior. Translation. Sri Narada said, you have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the personality of Godhead. That philosophy, which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord, is considered worthless. Purport. The eternal relation of an individual soul with the Supreme Soul, personality of Godhead, is constitutionally one of being the eternal servitor of the eternal Master. The Lord has expanded himself as living beings in order to accept loving service from them, and this alone can satisfy both the Lord and the living beings. A scholar like Vyasadeva has completed many expansions of the Vedic literatures, ending with the Vedanta philosophy, but none of them have been written directly, glorifying the personality of Godhead. Dry philosophical speculations, even on the transcendental subject of the Absolute, have very little attraction without directly dealing with the glorification of the Lord. The personality of Godhead is the last word in transcendental realization. The Absolute realized as impersonal Brahman or localized Supersoul, Paramatma, is less productive of transcendental bliss than the supreme personal realization of his glories. The compiler of the Vedanta Darshana is Vyasadeva himself, yet he is troubled, although he is the author. So what sort of transcendental bliss can be derived by the readers and listeners of Vedanta, which is not explained directly by Vyasadeva the author? Herein arises the necessity of explaining Vedanta Sutra in the form of Srlmad-Bhagavatam by the self-same author. Jai. So there we have it. We're going to stop there.
Thank you very much. This was a fun one, actually.
Oh, good. Good. Good, good. Any questions, comments?
This is a reminder.
Besides it being fun, it was a good one.
Not for me. Thank you very much. I have to go tend to my new ward.
This is a
All
reminder.
glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Krishna.